and on furnitures. There will be 4 colleague panelists representing those areas. And the last one, we will have an open discussion. So since this is not a negotiation meeting, and this is not also official bilateral meeting, the status of this meeting is dialogue, exchanging information, and then trying to promote better under this. Somehow we find ourselves in a different circumstances. There is a pandemic of COVID. I noticed there is a gradual resumption on business, but there are also of some hiccup here and there. Later on, we will see the impact to our supply and demand. Well, I think without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Suleiman Sarif, Chargé d'Affaires of the Indonesian Embassy in Brussels, also Deputy Chief of Mission of the Indonesian Embassy, to kick off our discussion today. Silakan, Pak Suleiman.
Thank you so much, Pak Dr. Efransa. His Excellency Bapak Andre Hadi, His Excellency Bapak Indroyono Susilo, Chairman of Communication Forum of Indonesian Forestry Community, Mr. Alexander de Groot, representative of Fidustria, Bapak Irwan Habsyah from Kadin, and Pak Dr. Efransa, Senior Advisor of the Minister of Environment and Forestry, as our moderator and facilitator today. Dear colleagues, all participants of this virtual business meeting. Very good morning to all distinguished participants in Belgium, and also I noticed colleagues from some embassies in Europe. Very good afternoon to all distinguished participants in Indonesia. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be with you today for this Indonesia-Belgium virtual business meeting on wood products and furniture. Today's virtual business brings me back to the journey of the negotiation process on the FLEGT VPA between Indonesia and the EU on FLEGT, which I also took part. Indonesia and EU signed the VPA on 30 September 2013 and entered into force May 2014. Indonesia is the first country from Asia region to sign the VPA with the EU. The FLEGT VPA reflects Indonesia's strengthened commitment, or during the negotiation, we always mention to the EU with or without FLEGT to further contribute toward sustainability of environment by using Indonesia Timber Legality Assurance System. We call it Indo-TILAS. Allow me quoting on Minister of Forestry's remark during the signing of VPA in 2013, the signing of the VPA is not only to reinforce sustainable forest management for the Indonesian people in particular, and for the international community in general. It is expected that the implementation of this VPA will boost trade of legal timber that will contribute to poverty alleviation, job creation, and support economic growth and maintain environmental quality. I think it's very relevant until today. If we look at Eurostat data, it shows that the EU in 2019 imported wood and wood product with a value of USD 23 billion from timber producing countries globally. From Indonesia, EU imported woods and wood product with a value of $1.6 billion, which is 0.7% of the total import to the EU. So we still see that many opportunities. EU is the 4th largest wood and wood product export destination for Indonesia before China, Japan, and the US. Indonesia's wood and wood product export to the EU somehow have not yet increased steadily. The export value was 1.9 billion euro 2017, 1.2 billion euro in 2018, and 1.4 billion euro in 2019. Meanwhile, Indonesia wood product and wood export value to Belgium was 123 billion euro in 2017, 103 million euros in 2018, and 133 million euro in 2019. According to the SIG database on the issuance of fee legal document to the EU as of August 4, yesterday at 11 AM, Indonesia issued 22,714 fee legal document in the period January until 4 of August, with a total value of almost 600,000 US dollar. We still have 4 months to go. That we do hope that at least our export not far from 2019. Looking at the trend of these export values, both Indonesia and the EU, including Belgium on the government side, need to work more closely on how to fully implement the EU-Indonesia VPA on flag tea. Article 13 clearly mentioned that the EU shall promote a favorable position in the union market for the timber products covered by flag tea. We also would like to encourage EU to expand flag tea VPA with other timber exporting countries as well. Meanwhile, on the business side, there is a merit to look into other opportunity to diversify its export, not only hardwood or premium wood such as teak from Indonesia, but also softwood or medium quality wood, complementary to the pine and cedar wood. More SMS will have more opportunity to export wood and wood products, furniture. So we see the opportunity in the long term are quite large. By saying this, I hope that virtual business meeting will first provide dialogue and frank discussion between B2B of both Belgium and Indonesia in the area of wood products and furniture, mapping Belgian market for wood products, and also mapping the capacity of Indonesia's support for wood products in Belgium, identify a strategy to enhance Belgium-Indonesia trade in area of wood and wood product, acquire information as how far flag tea licenses is more commonly used and recognized in the Belgium and European market as opposed to other wood certificates. In closing, I thank all the speakers, facilitator, and all the participants in joining this meeting. I also wish to have a fruitful discussion with a goal to further enhance bilateral trade between Indonesia and Belgium. I thank you then. Thank you, Pak Dr. Efransa.
Thank you, Mr. Charge d'Affaires. Thank you very much. Your intervention is duly noted. And in my turn, I think it's my turn to also recognize the presence here with us, Ambassador Andre Hadi, virtually from Jakarta, I think, attending this meeting, hoping that he will very soon take up his post in Brussels, inshallah. Thank you for being with us today. And I think it's now we move on to hear a little bigger picture, a kind of overview situation of the bilateral trade on this subject matter between Belgium and Indonesia. It's an honor to invite His Excellency, former coordinating minister, and now the chair of the Indonesian Forestry Community, Bapak Indroyono Susilo. Pak Indro, please, Pak Indroyono.
Thank you, Dr. Erwansyah. May I share my screen?
Yes. Please do.
Yes, okay. Why somebody has to make it able for me to show the screen? Okay, yes. Well, thank you very much. I hope you can see my.
Yeah.
You get my presentation?
It's clear.
Very good.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, good morning, all my colleagues in Brussels and Europe. Also, good afternoon, my colleague here in Indonesia. Indeed, an honor for me to be able to join today's video or webinar seminar between our Belgium and Indonesia. First of all, I would like to thank you, Excellency Ambassador Andre Hadi, for participating in this forum. I know that you'll be taking charge very soon to take 27 countries within EU and also with Belgium. So thank you, Excellency.
Terima kasih.
Also, thank you, Excellency, Associate Affair, Deputy Chief of Mission, Bapak Sulaiman Sharif, for organizing this event. You know, because I think this is a very fruitful discussion. This is to be the second event in terms of business, or the third events after we discuss the matter with Korea, Ambassador Umar Hadi, and then also with Excellency Ambassador Hafaz Ugroseno in Berlin. And this is will be the third one in Brussels, following the discussion with Excellency Ambassador Yuri Tamrin before. So I think it's nice to see how B2B discussion will come up for today. Pak Efransa, thank you very much again for chairing this event. So I know that I will be chairing again in the upcoming meeting between our colleagues in many countries.
Thank you.
So I would like to welcome also the panelists from Belgium. We have here Mr. Alexander de Groot, representative of Fidustria, Mr. Philippe Delays, CEO of Ethnic Craft Asia, and also Mr. Nadir Oulad Omar, and many others. I think we will have a discussion today. And also I'm very happy to learn that many of the participants coming from our embassies in Europe. This from London, embassies in Bratislava, embassy in Berlin, and also the ITPC, the promotion trade in Milan, in Italy. So I think we have quite strong participants in this occasion. And my colleague from Indonesia, Mr. Oni Hindar Kusuma, the board member of the Indonesian Wood Panel Associations, Mr. Eric Luya, the director of CV Property, and also from Kadin, I'm very happy to have here Mr. Irwan Harpsyah, to join us, and all the participants both from Belgium and from Indonesia. First of all, allow me to present to you the Forum for Indonesia Forestry Communities of FKMPI. This is the communities between the upstream to downstream forest industries in Indonesia. We have APHI, the concessionaires. We have the Indonesian Pulp and Paper Associations, the APKI. We have the Indonesian Wood Panel Association, APKINDO. We have Indonesian Sawmill and Woodworking Association, ISWA. Indonesian Light Wood Associations, ILWA. Indonesian Furniture Association, ASMINDO. And Indonesian Furniture and Craft Association, HIMKI. Let's see in the picture in a nutshell to see where are we in this forest product upstream and downstream export activities between Indonesia and our colleagues overseas. So earlier, by Excellency, the Charge d'Affaires, that yes, Europe is number 4. So Indonesia export to China, export in 2019 is 11.6 billion. So since based on our assessment with our embassies all over the world, they mentioned that we have to work more on promotion, more on marketing of Indonesian wood products. It seems that not because of the value, but because of our product is not well known in many of the countries. I'd like to share with you some of the number. We still put UK as part of EU, but so it's 28 countries. Let me show to you that last year, Indonesia export in $1 billion. And if we differentiate in each of the countries, I think UK is number 1 with $277 million. Netherlands is number 2 with $219 million. Number 3 is Germany with $155 million. And number 4 is Belgium with $106 million of our export. Now let us assess what happened in the last 7 months because of the COVID-19. Of course, there is an impact all over export to Europe is down 12% from January to July 2020 as compared to January to July 2019. Some of those is maybe some of them because of the COVID pandemic. However, some of the also is regarding the what do you call it, the unsureness of the European forest product importers due to the flag tea issues in Indonesia. I'd like to assure you again today that the flag tea they still implemented. So we still implement flag tea to export our product overseas, including to Europe. So if you see where is the position of Belgium, this is the position of Belgium. You see that if last year is Belgium import is 1.106 million US dollar. In the first 6 months, the first 7 months until July this year, Indonesia export to Belgium is around 63.5 million US dollar, while in January to July 2019 is 65.7 million US dollar. So it is down minus 3.2%. However, we got some assurance from our colleagues in Europe that since the implementation is for flag tea is ongoing again, I think in the second semester of this year we should have some assurance that looking forward is everything will be going up again and into the much better improving export of Indonesia to Europe in these forest products upstream to downstream. How about all over the world in terms of how's the Indonesia's progress in the export wood and forest product export from January to July? I'd like to show you also that from January to July, our export is around 6.2 billion US dollar. It's down minus 6% as compared to last year, the same period, 6.6 billion US dollar. So again, we also have to work with many of our colleagues overseas, and I'm looking forward to get support from our embassies all over the world, and also embassies in Europe. Maybe that hopefully we can rebound this number into much positive in the second semester of 2020. And we have to work together on this, both our exporter, and also the importers from our colleagues from Europe and from all over the world. You see the trend. That in January we still positive 2.1%, February 2.3%, but on the 2nd of March, President Jokowi announced that Indonesia already has a pandemic suspect. So it's starting March, this year is minus 1.9, and then in April minus 4.3. In May is a minus 8.4, and we saw a very good perspective since when June was still already rebound minus 5%. However, this July still down again. Okay, but okay, we'll see. Looking forward that this will improve again in August and also September, because we just received the GDP for the second semester. Indonesia is minus 5.2% negative, and we have to work very hard so that in the quarter number 3 this year we should be able to rebound to at least to get 0 and growth of 0% and up, in order to not into what we call recession. So the current situation here today in Belgium and Indonesia, I think our communities also we are in the transition of period moving toward post-COVID-19 new normal. And we are here today to discuss joint trade and investment issues in forest product industries. And we are also here today to improve both countries' strategic cooperation in forest industries through business-to-business dialogue. So in conclusion, I just like to show to you, maybe so we can take a note together. Let us make a target. How can we achieve from this dialogue today? I think first, I just like to throw this from the demand side and from your side, from my colleague, the Belgium companies and importers. So what kind of product needed by the Belgian consumers? The quantity and quality. We learn from you that yes, we still have big potential market to Belgium, but would you please inform us what kind of niche market that we can work together with you, so we can penetrate more in our market in Belgium and hopefully also to Europe. Also regarding flag tea, maybe you are the Belgium importer maybe is not too confident because of the issues of flag tea and so on. Allow us today also to discuss this matter together. Second, from the supply side, from our side, how can we Indonesian producer and exporter may respond to Belgium demand, the type of product, quantity and quality, and their readiness to fulfill new niche or product as required. You know that we are now moving again ahead in this, even though now there is a request of import coming from Europe or from Belgium, we have to also to provide the containers, right? Because there's not many containers now available in Indonesia because there's not many import product coming into Indonesia. So we are now discussing this with the Ministry of Transportation under the auspices of the Ministry of Maritime and Investment, just to find where are the containers in which port, so that we can send our products with where the containers are available. In the last 4 months, there are not many containers in Indonesia because not many imports coming in. Number 3, there's some problems and challenges in wood product trade in both perspective of us. So let's try some solutions that can be mutually beneficial and in a win-win solution. It was mentioned by Excellency the Deputy Chief Mission, Mr. Pak Sulaiman. How about joint promotion of flag tea? Because this is under the Article 13 of the 2013 MOUs between Indonesia and EU. Maybe this we can start from there. And we are ready from the business sector in Indonesia. If both countries and both government is planning to do some promotion of flag tea, we are ready 100% to support the program. So because this is to the benefit of all of us. Number 4, I think there's an opportunity to increase investment in Indonesia if there is some interest, because for example, Germany are interested for biomass energy, for example. So I think there is an issue now that many of the concessionaires of plantation forests, which is not being used, our Ministry of Environment and Forestry said, just use this to become a, biomass energy plantation forest. You can make some investment for 30 years, for example, because you can use this to convert coal energy into a biomass energy. This is one of the examples. And number 5, I think the follow-up meeting of business transaction and so on. For example, I'd like to inform you that thank you very much from the Belgium side that I think Belgium will be ready to provide Indonesian exporter with a storage, good big storage in Antwerp harbor, so that when we export our product, it can be stored in good storage in the port. And in the meantime, also the Excellency Ambassador Hafaz from Berlin invited us for the upcoming Hanover Fair in 2021. Hopefully they will be joined, provided that everything in the COVID already in our bag already. So this event cannot be a successful one without your active participation and support, and I look forward for the fruitful and free discussion today and contribute to the development of Indonesia and Belgium cooperation in the forest product industries. So I wish the forum a great success. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bapak Indroyono Susilo. You have made a comprehensive presentation. And towards the end of your presentation, I noted, and I would like to re-underline, there are key questions put forward as an expectation of the content as well as the material of our discussion to be touched upon later at the second round. So now you allow me to introduce somebody. Somebody is very respected, representing Fedustria, Mr. Alexander de Groot. He has been involved in this timber business since 1999. And he is now also managing director of FEPCO International. Mr. de Groot, please.
Good afternoon for people in Indonesia, and of course, good morning for all the Europeans. Thank you to the Indonesian Embassy in Brussels for organizing this webinar, as well as Dr. Efran Shah, Mr. Sharif and Mr. Susilo for their opening and presentations. As said by Mr. Efransia, I've been asked as representative of the Belgian Association on Wood and Furniture Industry, named Vedustria, to give you an update of today's situation on the Belgian market for wood products, furniture, related developments, and the challenges we are facing today, and how FLECT is performing currently. I would like to start with saying that the worldwide economy is experiencing extremely challenging times. This caused by world leaders putting pressure on markets, environmental matters like global warming, and of course, since the beginning of this year, the COVID-19 pandemic. On top of that, the more usual local issues companies have to deal with. Altogether, it's quite a list of events forcing our trade to be alert and flexible for now and the future, more than ever before, I would say. It seems that the impossible has turned out to be possible today. The import of wood and wood products from Indonesia started this year with the cancellation of the preferential tariff, resulting in the increase from import duties from 3.5% to 7% for several items, and for other items from 6.5% to 10%. Meanwhile, this has been absorbed by the trade. However, it sets back the competitiveness of the price towards other supply areas, like Russia for plywood or sawn timber from other tropical countries. Vedustria is monitoring on a regular basis the impact of the COVID-19 on the economic forecast of their members. And they do this on a regular basis by surveys. Beginning of July, a survey showed that from our sector, the furniture industry seems to suffer most, and secondly, the packaging industry. And I recall the comments of Mr. Susilo earlier, where he was saying that there were hardly any containers available in Indonesia due to less import. Well, that confirms basically that the trade, not only in Indonesia, but I would say worldwide, has been suffering that much. That's mainly packaging industry, and that's what we also see among our members in Vedustria, is suffering seriously at the moment. On the other side, it seems that traders in sawn timber and plywood so far have been doing rather well given the circumstances. I heard from some actually that they had their best season ever. This most probably due to the lockdowns, resulting in consumers staying home and starting to renovate or upgrade their houses and gardens. Realizing that traveling during this holiday season is more complicated, or in some cases even prohibited, people decided to spend their money at home and improve their own environment. The problems we may face in the near future because of COVID-19 and the weaker economy could lead to liquidity problems of some of the traders, and also the fact that credit insurers will become more critical. And personally, I expect that this is something which we will experience more during October, November, December, towards the end of the year, and that will learn us how to deal with this in future. Coming to the trade between Belgium and Indonesia, we can say that Belgium is still an important country for Western Europe if it comes to the import of wood and wood products. The port of Antwerp is an important gateway to Europe, and today we consider it already normal that Indonesia has achieved the FLEGT license. However, when there was a moment in April this year where the Ministry of Trade in Indonesia was considering to be temporarily more flexible on the regulation, many of us immediately requested Fiducia to take action and avoid the weakening of the system. And I believe this confirms that FLEGT is of vital interest for the trade between our nations. I'd like to share my screen here with you. Let me try. Does it work? Can you see my...
Coming? It seems like coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of numbers. I'm not going through them item by item because that would be too much now. But this is the overview based on the HS codes for the custom clearance, the group 44, including the group 94 being furniture. Looking at the sheet, you can see that the total value of trade between Indonesia and Belgium increased compared to 2016 with last year, 2019. The list contains the various HS codes, as said, used for custom clearance. But at least it indicates that we are moving forward and that we have been developing business together during these years. The question is, what is important to improve further for future? And I believe that the marketing of the FLEGT license, and then in particular the sustainable part of the system, should be promoted. Meanwhile, most of the buyers do know that FLEGT means a green lane and does not require them to do any further due diligence, which is, of course, a big saving in time and money, finally. But when talking with end users or traders, we do learn that they still have preference for FSC and PFC certified products, since they are more recognized as a sustainability certificate. And the lobby and marketing machine of those companies or certificates is extremely strong, I would say. And I'm of the opinion that governments in Europe have to make a greater effort to promote the FLEGT certified products. The total investment so far in setting up the scheme is justifying further marketing activities. Of course, the trade is more than happy to invest further and promote, but part needs to be done by the authorities. Think about public tenders, public procurement policies, where today it's mentioned that the used wood in the building project needs to be FSC certified. Why isn't FLEGT added to these lists? If in the future other countries have achieved a FLEGT license as well, this may help the general knowledge about the certificate. But finally, it will need simply a permanent marketing strategy to promote it and make people aware of the existence. Years ago, consumers didn't know anything about FSC. Today, many of them do recognize the logo and know something about it. This is the road we need to follow. And we all know it's a long one, but it's a necessity. The reason why this is so important is because cutting logs in a natural rainforest has created a negative image during the years. Fiducia members recognize that the promotion of only the legal source of the wood or wood product is in some cases not sufficient anymore to convince the end user. The competition has not been sleeping. Meanwhile, other products are finding its way into the market, like wood composite products as an alternative for decking, technical upgraded softwood species by thermotreatment or by adding chemicals, lifting the natural durability of these species to a higher level. We need to prove and convince that using natural forest for the production of wood and wood products is no problem subject to applying the correct cutting policies. And that due to those activities of the wood industry, finally the future of those forests is guaranteed. This is basically my contribution to this meeting today. And I believe that some of these statements most probably will lead to interesting questions and dialogues further in the next 1.5 hours. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Groot. We took note of your contribution and presentation. There are some key points there. As you can expect in the business, you have good news and not so good news. Only two things, huh? Never been bad news. So in the good news, we will see some promising figures there. It's not very worrisome, but you mentioned something that we are all listen very carefully, is the potential liquidity problem with some traders in the coming months due to the current circumstances. And then you made very clear point to us on how important, and it's still very challenging to keep promoting flexi up to the end user. As a fiduciary, you are confronting this challenge to convince your end user while other competing commodities coming in. I think these are the area that you would like to pick up further in the more intimate discussion that I'm going to disclose very soon. But with your permission, before going there, can I just check, my dear panelists, other they are all here. Do we have 4 panelists? Pak Oni Hindra Kusuma, Mr.
Yes,
Oni
Pak
is here,
Efrasa.
yeah? Monsieur Philippe Deleuze. Est-ce que vous êtes ici? Philippe Deleuze.
Yes, I'm
Not yet.
there.
It's from. Oh, okay. Thank you. And then Mas Eric Luvia ada ya?
Yes, present.
Yeah, you are around. And then Mr. Nadir Ulad Omar. So I saw you on the screen. So then you are there. Later on, when you turn, you will be given the mic, so that just check whether your screen has been unmuted. In that order, I would like to invite you, and please feel free to share quantitative or qualitative aspect of your statement, but limit yourself to 1, maximum 2 slides, please, because of our limited time. It is my ambitions to adjourn this meeting before 4 p.m. So, as promised, let us listen to the story. I hope it's a good story from wood products first, from wood panel. Can I invite Mr. Oni, thereafter Mr. Deleuze? Pak Oni, silakan.
Thank you, Pak Dr. Efrasa, our moderator today. Selamat sore, good afternoon, Ambassador Pak Andri Hadi, Excellency Pak Sultan Sarif, good afternoon, Pak Dwi Suryo Indroyono Susilo, my colleagues from Belgium, good morning, Mr. Alexander de Groot, and all colleagues represent Anycraft and Barabas Belindo from Belgium, and all colleagues from Indonesia, and all participants, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, in this occasion, on behalf of Apkindo, I would like to express my sincere thanks to have chance to participate and sharing today's virtual meeting, which is organized by our Embassy of Republic Indonesia in Brussels and Indonesian Forestry Community Forum. And in this chance, I would like to
to give you some information about the APKINDO Association. APKINDO is an association whose members are wood panel industry only, and founded in 1976, and current we have members 127 companies. And APKINDO has been a good partner of the Indonesian government in developing and promoting the national wood panel industry. APKINDO also has a good relationship with an association from other countries such as GLA and GPNA from Japan, IWBP from USA, Timber Trade Federation from Europe and UK, MPMA and STA from Malaysia, and also the member from Indonesian Forestry Community Forum under Mr. Dwi Suryono Indroyono, of course. Okay, I would like to start with my presenting to have a better understanding and clear picture of the business plywood between Belgium and Indonesia and Europe condition. I will present three different sources data. Okay, this is slide number 1. In the left side of the slide is the bilateral trade between Belgium and Indonesia. That from the first data, we can see and notice that Belgium import plywood from the world from 2017, 2018 to 2019 is increasing. Especially 2019 was increased by about 11% from 2018. But the import from Indonesia is another way around. It's decreasing. You can have a look. The number is decreasing from the 22,000 to 17,000, and 2019 is only 12,847, or is about 39.6% down from the 2018. If you have look on the right side, the other sources of data which came from Statistic Indonesia, you can see also the same figure or the same trend that the Indonesian plywood, hardwood is decreasing year by year. But one thing that Mr. Alexander mentioned just now is real, that in 2020, the first semester between January and June, the volume is quite okay, still the same with the 2019. This gives us a little bit objective and confidence. But if you look at this, we will still believe that Indonesian tropical hardwood still having a very good demand compared with the other supplying country for tropical hardwood plywood that you can see from the second slide. In the second slide, you can see the Indonesian import by EU is number 1, although the market share is only 3.52% in 2019. That one you can see it also in the first slide. But this one, the total import from Belgium is including other species plywood. And in the second slide, we also see, and everybody is also confirmed, that because of COVID, that the volume of import is going down. Not only the volume, but the prices also is going down. So now, if we look at the condition from 2017, 18, and 19, now our side or our Apindo member, the question is, how shall we keep the volume is not falling down further? Or even we are also would like to increase the share in the market. And what is the win-win solution that we can propose? Some of that is already informed by Pak Indroyono, but from our Apindo point of view, I would like to propose 3 points that we would like to carry out together. That is, number one, you can see I write down in the first slide, that is to promote the SVLK or FLECT to the market until to the end buyer, I emphasize. And number two, and ensure that SVLK and FLECT is not only informed as a legality, but also a sustainable product. And this is very, very important that SVLK FLECT is including sustainable. Number two, I would like also our friend to help us how to endorse the timber procurement policy in the government and also in private sector. Number three, as Belgium is one of our very important export to EU, because most of our importer is using Antwerp as a discharging port. So we are really need assistance that we can have a support from the warehouse facility in the Antwerp port. That will be a very meaningful, not only to us and also our importer. For the above tasks, the 3 tasks, we really need also our colleague in Belgium giving us assistance to break through the market for increasing our plywood, and also please inform us as an importer what we have to do to increase our share in the EU market, especially in Belgium. I think that is I would like to share to you, and thank you for your kind attention, Pak Dr. Irfansyah.
Thank you.
Again to you, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we retrieve your presentation so that we go back to the main screen? Thank you very much, Paoni. I think your last point, I think is most important. You mentioned 3 and then end up with 4. What we can do now to increase the volume overall, but it is clear there are consistent observation here on the need to promote SVLK and FLECT up to the end user level, and bringing a clear message on legality and sustainability aspect. And then there is a note on the importance to work together on the timber procurement policies, which has been also touched upon by Mr. Alexander de Groot. And then we recognize the importance of Port Antwerp and your support, and you need the support there in terms of warehouse. This is what I hear from very concretely from Mr. Oni. So before I move on, please pay attention. Following this discussion, according to my screen here, there are about 65, yeah, 65 people. And then you have at the upper right of your screen, the chat, how you call it, chat mode. So in case of you need to send a question or a message to any of us attending this virtual conference, please do not hesitate. Please do so, and I will seek help from Mas Purwadi to observe that chat. And later on, you can also raise hands virtually there. But if I can see you here, I can see 9 people. But if you're on the other screen, if I can see you raise hands, I'll take note, meaning that you want to have to get involved in the discussion later on. So I think it's clear. So 65. So I expect a hot question by the end of the presentation. And now, may I call upon to Mr. Philip Delays? Philip Delays is the CEO of Ethnic Group Asia. Am I correct? Check your mic, please. CEO of Ethnic Craft Asia. Ethnic Craft Asia. Philip Delays. Check your mic and please take up the floor. Mr. Delays, you are in the car. Hello, can I reach you? His mic has been open, please, host. Unmute mic. I can see Mr. Delays in the car, but I didn't hear anything. Now he is disappear. So can we revisit him later for not waiting too long? Yeah, I got your agreement. So we just actually this is a segmented discussion. This is peculiar to the plywood situation and also handicraft. Is there any burning question here? Otherwise, we can discuss all together since the symptoms seems to be it's similar symptoms. We can discuss later at the end of the presentation. So with that note, yeah. Anybody? Mr. Philip Delays, are you with us?
Yes, yes, I'm with you.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
please go ahead.
Hello.
Please, thank
Sorry.
you very much. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, yes. No, we are in the furniture business, so not really the wood panels, but more the finished. We buy.
I
logs,
see.
and we transform the
My
logs.
apology. Okay.
We transform the logs completely into furniture. Do you want to
I
that
see.
subject now or later on?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
You are somehow in the mobile mode. Yeah, you are in the car. That's what we
yes,
saw.
I'm sorry. I'm in the mobile mode. Yes. Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think we are probably the largest producer of wooden furniture. The Belgian wooden furniture, the biggest Belgian producer of wooden furniture in Indonesia. We operate a big factory with 1,400 people in Tegal, and another one with 350 people in Jepara. So no, our experiences with the COVID or with the Corona situation have been rather positive, as Mr. De Groot from Fedustria said before. For end consumers, they understand that they will not spend money on going on holiday. They will save the budget they have for holidays, and they will rather spend that budget into improving the house. So it could be improving using wood panels to improving the construction of the house, or it could be buying more furniture, indoor and as well as outdoor, for enjoying the house more, spending more time in the house. So basically, we've seen an increase of demand as well from the US as from Europe into our products made in Indonesia. So our experience is rather positive. I'm not sure this experience is shared by all producers in Indonesia, because I think one of the main reasons of the so-called success during the lockdown period is that we work with rather large, well-organized companies or retailers that have a very good online presence and that can sell easily through online. If you sell more to smaller retailers who are not so organized, you only rely on brick and mortar sales of these stores, the sales will be less. So that's more or less our experience of the COVID period and the way things are going in for us in Indonesia. Do you have any more questions on this?
So how do you?
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Well,
I think your mic is muted, Mr. Francia.
Your mic.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Mr. Deleuze. How do you see the upcoming months? Is that the situation going to be better?
Yeah, for us, the situation, as I said, is already quite good, and we have difficulty to
Yes, even
to
getting.
catch up with the orders. So basically, for us, I think that,
I see.
there is no immediate problem, but it's also very local. It's not a situation that can be generalized all over the economy, all over the business. But I think for sure our opportunities, especially there's more spending in outdoor and indoor furniture for the moment in certain segments. So we cannot complain. We just need to make it happen and to get it made in Indonesia. That's our biggest concern.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We wish you luck. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
Can I move on to Mr. Eric Luia, who is also who will be talking also about furnitures. Mas Eric.
Hi. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming in from a furniture background as well, furniture manufacturer. We're based in Semarang and Cirebon. I think to mirror some of the perspectives that is shared by Mr. Deleuze and also by Mr. De Groot earlier, we do see that there is also a pattern of, there's a lot of opportunities that people, instead of spending their money on holidays, that they're actually spending it domestically to improve their own living conditions. This is where we see that there could be opportunities in our products and in selling it into the Belgian market. What we notice as well is that the importance of having an online presence as opposed to just traditional retail stores. So for these companies, I believe that they have a very good opportunities and to grow in this market. So what I'll do is that I'll share a screen. I'll share my screen to share a short slide on what has been happening, what we have observed, and what has been happening in the market. So export of furniture in Indonesia, if you compare it to the whole world, is still only accounts for about 1 to 2% of the world's total exports. It has slowly grown over the years. So in 2015, we're sitting at about 1.7 billion US dollars, whereby last year, 2019, we're sitting at about 1.95 billion US dollars. Okay, whereas to Belgium itself, past 2015 to 2018 has been staying stable at about 40 million US for furniture every year. And in 2019, it has grown to 58.5 million US dollar of furniture export. In terms of the proportions, you can see that Belgium makes up about 3% of Indonesia's total furniture export and 5% of Indonesian crafts export. I believe that there are still a lot of opportunities in which we can grow these figures. One of the biggest pattern or profile of Indonesian companies is that we're mostly made up of small to medium enterprises in Indonesia, whereby we still need a lot of assistance. There are presence of large companies such as Ethnicraft that Mr. Delays is in, that already has a very strong base in Indonesia. But I would say about 80% of us, 80% of furniture businesses in Indonesia is made up of small to medium companies. This is an area where I feel that we need a lot of assistance, both from the Indonesian government and also from our Belgian counterparts, both governments and corporations. Where we need assistance, one, of course, in terms of design and marketing. I do believe equally important that the presence of FLECT, the presence of SVLK should be boosted, should be explained clearer to a lot of the end users to understand what are the benefits, what are the advantages of Indonesian timber, as opposed to buying timber from elsewhere. Design, this is an area where we feel that we need a lot of assistance from both the government in Indonesia and also Belgian counterparts as well. Creativity is the same, better education, better machinery to support our production, and the move toward automation. There are various ways in which I think we can do this. We are currently working with a couple of Belgian customers as well, for which we assist them in tapping into resources of various SMEs. A lot of the crafts items that we help procure for them originates from small to medium enterprises. They originate from craftsmen, but which we collect, we help to process, we help to quality control, and then we re-export it back onto the Belgian market. I think this is a process that we can help to facilitate in order to grow that business itself. Likewise, I think in terms of machinery and education, we're doing a lot of workshops. We're doing a lot of we're involved with a lot of vocational schools in order to increase the skills of our local workforce, whereby we have to translate that. We have to admit that in Indonesia, we have very, very strong craftsmanship skills, but they are very traditional. And sometimes we need to help them modernize these steps, modernize this process to make it more efficient and to make it more relevant with newer materials, with new techniques and new supporting tools. So this is where we come in and we help a lot of our craftsmen and also teach new generation of craftsmen in order to create a product that can be suitable for export and especially to the Belgian market itself. So I think in terms of Indonesian side, that's where I feel we need a lot of assistance. In terms of marketing, again, I feel that digitalization is the key. We feel that it's very evident and it has been sped up by this pandemic cause that the shift towards online marketing is there. The presence of very strong digital marketing is required in order for a company to grow. And for our type of furniture, our type of business, I don't believe that the presence of retail store will completely disappear, because for furniture, we still like to see and touch and feel the products. But having a strong online presence and having a strong online marketing is something that is necessary in order for us to be able to grow. I heard earlier that there's also a proposal of the Belgian government to assist with warehousing, for example, in Antwerp. This is something that I feel would be particularly beneficial to a lot of industries, because what we are doing even to some of our customers is that they would be placing orders for us for which we keep in our warehouses in Indonesia. But again, by keeping it in Indonesia, it takes 30, 45 days for the goods to arrive in Europe, whereby if we're able to store our products, keep in stock some products in Europe, it would make things, it would serve to be a very good competitive advantage by having our products there. Okay, I think that would be some inputs from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. Brilliant. What you have just been said sounds music to my ear. So I hope this will enlighten all of us and encourage our spirits towards a better trade, better volumes. So, but you clearly indicated the challenge involving the small and medium enterprises. I think people will consider that it's important. And then again, as SVLK has been mentioned, we have to still work on that. And I think there is a natural challenge on the digital marketing and automatization of the machinery. We took up well from your presentation. Now, my last speaker, my last panelist today is Mr. Nadir Omar of Barnabas and Belindo. Please, Mr. Omar.
Good morning, thank you. We have a company in Belgium. We are already dealing 25 years with Indonesian. Our aim is keep collaborating with the SME in Indonesia, because for us, it's the biggest group of small business people. And like Mr. Eric Luwina say, I agree 100% what he say. So right now with the COVID, we really see the biggest opportunity in here. But what we realize is that some SMEs staying too long on the sideline during 4 years. What I absorb is that many big industries forgetting the position of the SME, because by that we can clearly see the SME position is very, very low. Although the other side from the market, because you are really in a niche market, not in the big industry, really specific niche market, on the long term, we should support the SME that they know the market better. It's a missing point. Like Mr. Eric say, is we got a different trend. They're a little bit stuck on the old furniture tradition, although they are really good craft people. That's one that we have to work on it. And another thing I like to mention is the way of promotion now during 2020 after the COVID-19, it will be totally different and totally changed. The way that we handle to promote product by exhibitions, I believe that this will be a different landscape on the long term. So yes, we have to work on digitalization, and I also believe Indonesia have to invest in the 5G so the SME can follow those markets. If not, it will be very hard project to make it come true. Another thing that is missing for the SME is the SVLK flagging. There are very big barriers for those group of people. And if they got problems with that, we also, as the small, medium enterprises in Europe, Belgium, we also have the same problem, because it's have to be from two sides. If people over there into the field in Indonesia is not really up to date about that way of doing business, automatically we have to solve the problem. And this is really affecting the market. You see? So yeah, that's my point for the SME thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Omar. Did you mention something about the way of promoting for the SME? This is landscape things. What do you mean by that?
What we have done in the past with my team in Indonesia and with the really good support from the KBRI here in Brussels is doing a lot of exhibitions over here. But because of the landscape is that different now and totally changed, we have to do it on a totally different way. What I believe is, like Mr. Eric said, we have to create a very strong platform Because right now what we're doing on here, we chatting with 56 people, as you mentioned, and the world is in our office. So the opportunity for the SME people and also for us as an SME in Belgium, Europe, on that way, with those kind of platforms, we have to create it.
On digital basis, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Digital basis. Okay.
It will be very hard for the future. That's one of the, for me, it's one of the targets. We have to work on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very proud of the panelists today. They speak very concise and clear. Some points are very consistent and straightforward onto the paper. So I think the association already noted well. And now it's an open discussion. I don't know how to start. Let me see who is there any chat for us? I see none. Yeah, it's none. Maybe because this is a good news, so nobody worried about this. But well, I want to ask somebody to trigger the discussion this afternoon. I don't want to miss this rare opportunity of 20 minutes. Can I call upon Pak Teku Agus and Pak Robert Wijaya in that order to raise a kind of opinion or question, observation, whatever pertinent to this discussion today. Pak Teku Agus, are you there? Or Pak Robert Wijaya, please unmute your microphone. Pak Teku Agus, Pak Robert Wijaya. Yeah, who? Yeah, I cannot see you, but who is talking now?
Andri, Pak. In case Pak Teku is not ready yet, may I ask a question, Pak?
Oh, yes, please do.
Yeah,
please, Pak.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Pak Dr. Efransa, my mentor, Pak Susilo Indroyono, Pak Kuwait, and all friends. First of all, as next ambassador in Brussels, in my position as ambassador, and then of course definitely Pak Sulaiman Sarif also, we will be very, very happy, and it's an honor for me to service to all of you. So I'm new, so I don't know exactly. I'm not very much familiar with this issue, but I will be more than happy to help this industry to achieve their your objectives there in Belgium and then also in EU market. So don't hesitate to contact me. I will share my cell number, Pak, my Indonesian cell number, and I will share also my Brussels number if I'm already there. And then we will be very happy to facilitate whatever you want. And Pak Indroyono or Pak Efransa, maybe before I'm leaving for Brussels in October or November, if you have time, I would like to just drop by office and then talk with you, and then with other friends in this industry. So I know very well what's the task, because Pak Jokowi asked all ambassadors to be marketer, Pak. So it's my job to and then we know palm oil and then wood product is one of our key export product. So I will do my best to serve you during my tenure there. And maybe my question, Pak, sorry, Pak, maybe to Pak Alexander De Groot. My question. The Groot. I'm sorry if I'm not familiar with this issue. I mean, you said that it's really very good for Indonesian government to keep the FLEGT certified product. I mean, the legal product of the wood. My question, Pak, in EU market, or I don't know, in Belgium market, is there how many is all wood product that exported from other country to EU markets, they are all certified. They are all, or there's some well, some maybe some country they are not have a flag certified product, and then Indonesia have a flag certified product, and then what's the advantage with the flag, and then what is the disadvantage if we don't use this certified, Pak? Because maybe some industry will ask about this one. Thank you, Pak.
Yeah, thank you, Ambassador Andre Hadi. Thank you very much. Sorry for being late to recognize you when you're taking up the floor. Mr. De Groot, please.
Yes, yeah, thank you for your question. Basically, we can say that nowadays, when we talk to our buyers, the first question is, what is the origin of the goods, of course? Secondly, what kind of certificates are you able to present? And the competition for Indonesia, if I'm talking, for example, about wood panels, is at the moment, I would say, coming from partly China, of course, big part coming from Russia. And then, of course, we do have the, I would say, local, meaning the European producers of okume and poplar plywood. And most of the products coming from Russia, the poplar and the okume produced in Europe, is coming automatically almost, I would say, with an FSC certificate. And from the moment we are promoting products from Indonesia, then the minimum we do need to be a bit competitive to those products is the proof of the legality, showing at least that it is coming from a legal source. And as I said earlier in my presentation, the next thing I believe is important to do to promote products from Indonesia is not only show that it's coming from a legal source, but also to emphasize that there is a sustainable part behind this certificate. Because that's usually the comments we get saying, okay, it's nice that you can prove it's legal. That's already a huge step forward. But if I buy FSC certified products from other areas, then I also have a more important sustainability behind the product. And people don't know about the sustainability but behind the FLEGT certificate. They know it's legal, it's connected to the legality, but it's hardly connected to sustainability. And I think there is the key to a more successful trade between Indonesia and European in general, and then in particular in this case, of course, Belgium. So I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, can we hang on that issue? I would like to ask Chair Indroyono Susilo later on to come in. But the thing here, what we discuss is very clearly, there are two levels. There are government level where we set up this VPA or FLEGT and in the G2G level. And then later on, beneath that, there is an actual behavior of a consumer. On the ground. And that's, they are not necessarily in line. So, and this is what the many panelists here ask, that we infiltrate further, penetrate further to touch upon them in terms of communication, so that there are a clearer picture about what is the advantage of buying this Indonesian product. Chair Indroyono Susilo, please.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Efransyah. Indeed, I'm very happy to follow the discussion this afternoon or this morning. Let me respond to Ambassador Andre Hadi, also to Alexander De Groot, regard number one. Yes, they said we have to do two-pronged activities. Number one is the government sectors, Pak Andre. When we signed MOU with EU in 2013, there is article number 13, which said that EU will work and will promote the FLEGT. So since 2013 until 2020 right now, we haven't done this. So I think I am looking forward, Excellency, if you be in Brussels, let's convince the Brussels government and the EU Parliament to just to implement this Article 13. So by doing so, the FLEGT will be promoted, because your question is quite correct. The question, for example, you ask, so what is benefit of having Indonesia sign the FLEGT? Other countries, they don't have FLEGT with EU. Actually, we should have some benefit. So among others, actually, is to do some promotion based on Article 13. And the second thing is, I think if I propose to you, Excellency, when you meet the government of Brussels, Belgium, is regarding the procurement. If the government of Brussels on the procurement put FLEGT in one of the classification, it's quite plus for us. You know, because even though maybe the market for the government procurement is not that big, but having the FLEGT mentioned during within the federal government procurement all over Europe based on EU Article 13, I think this will be much visible. And number three, now outside of this, I would like to ask Mr. De Groot, what do you mean with you cancel the preferential
tariff preferential?
Yeah, maybe you can explain later on this. But number four, I think we all agree, which has been come back to Ambassador Andre Hadi. You know, during our last meeting with Ambassador Yuri Tamrin, yes, there is already some offer coming from the Belgian sector to provide a warehouse in Antwerp Harbor. So I think together, let us proceed with this. So by doing so together, we should have, for example, a warehouse facility with a not too expensive renting price, so that, as mentioned by our colleague from the Indonesian company, we can send our product to Europe, and the gate will be in Antwerp, and there's already warehouse available for us to put all our product over there before being distributed to all over Europe. So this is some of the issues that I can raise to you about the Antwerp warehouse regarding the Article 13 promotion. We have to do this kind of promotion so that this become a nice thing to do in order to improve and enlarge the market. And question,
okay.
what is the preferential tariff? I don't know this.
Thank you.
Please, Mr. De Groot.
Can you pick that up, Mr. De Groot, on the preferential tariff?
Yes. Well, at a certain moment, European countries are negotiating with other countries the tariffs of the custom clearance, the duty we have to pay for a product when we import it into Europe. And for some reasons or negotiations, in the past, they agreed to give a certain country for a certain product a preferential tariff. Meaning, if you provide, in this case, a Form A document, you can bring down, or in the past, you could bring down the actual rate of 7% back to 3.5%. And those agreements are usually done for a certain period. And once this period is expired, either there has to be done a new negotiation to see if they can continue at this rate, or if there is no new agreement for whatever reason, I'm not involved in these kind of negotiations, of course. These arrangements are cancelled, and we have to pay again the full rate.
You mean with Indonesia? You mean?
In this case, for products from wood from Indonesia. For example, if we talk about imports from Russia in birch plywood, there's also a 7% duty applicable.
Okay.
I see.
From Indonesia, how big?
Depends on the type of product, but that varies from 7% to, I would say, 10%.
Okay.
Up to 10%. But you did mention, Mr. De Groot, that somehow into the current condition, the importer absorb the cost.
Yeah, of course, if people prefer to buy Indonesian hardwood plywood and they still continue buying, they have to accept it. They have to pay additional duties. However, if we compare, for example, the price of, because we are talking about how can we improve business. There is one hand, all kind of regulations we have to keep in mind, like FLEGT, like FSC, and these kind of things. But there's always also a price competitiveness. So we can have tomorrow all desired certificates, but if, for example, which is the case at the moment, a product coming from Russia is much cheaper, yeah, then we still have difficulties to promote products from Indonesia. And
I see.
That's the case at the moment.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I can see clearly the homework for everyone. I think we have to take this up immediately when the times permit. Is Pak Teguh Agus is already there?
Pak Robert Wijaya.
Pak Robert Wijaya. Pak
Yeah.
Robert, silakan. Pak Robert Wijaya, any question from you or any observation?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Pak Sulaiman Sarif. Pak Efransa, this is my chief before from WWF, yeah. My name is Robert from Asmindo. It is
Asmindo,
association.
okay.
Asmindo, yeah, that is Association Furniture and Handicraft Indonesia. Good day in Belgium. Just suggest that is number one, yeah. I think right now I want to info that our export until the end of June for the furniture and craft, that is decreased, yeah. That is decreased 37%. 37% decrease for the until the end of June. That is the effect of the pandemic. So now I think Belgium and Indonesia tell all story, yeah, all story about the business, and maybe for Pak Sulaiman Sarif and the other government in Belgium, I think it's better we do together. We cooperate right now for the International Trade Promotion Center (ITPC), and number two for the KBRI and Atashe Perdagangan there. I think we do together right now how to promote Indonesian forestry product to Belgium side, because we know Belgium is one of the gate, yeah, one of the gate for the traditional market in Europe, yeah. I think this is number one. Number two, I think maybe we can do something exhibition in Belgium, maybe, yeah. We can cooperate with Ministry of the Industry, Ministry of the Trade, and Affair Ministry, General Affair, Foreign Affair Ministry. We can collaborate together, do something like House of Indonesia, maybe in Belgium. That is my suggestion. Thank you so much, Pak Efransa.
Thank you, Pak. Long time no see. So to me, it's very clear what you said. This is a matter of promotion again and communication, and it is worrisome to balance the other view that we noticed this decrease up to June 2020. There is a quite significant decrease that it is need to be observed. So I hope the remaining months of this year we can somehow neutralize the situation. What time is it now? It seems that the discussion is quite hot. Yeah, we still have 15 minutes at least before I will ask assistants to do wrap up. Is there any observation from other members of the association or from the Belgium side? Yeah,
Pak Efran, Mr. Johan
please,
from the Belgium will give
Mr.
the
Johan,
explanation.
yes. Yeah, you are the early bird coming to the meeting. You should have been given opportunity earlier. Please, Mr. Johan.
No problem, Efran. Thank you very much. I just want to
catch into Pasosilo's remark on the warehouse, because like also Mr. De Groot is saying, and everybody is agreeing on the promotion and the logistics efficiencies, cost efficiencies, etc. Well, we are from the Benelux Indonesia Association, and I'm a say a logistic and shipping expert doing business with Indonesia since many years. Antwerp has very good facilities for warehousing, and sometimes the Indonesian exporters are not aware of the bonded warehouse system we have. So we can put goods in the port of Antwerp without paying import duties and VAT, etc. The cost of warehousing in Antwerp are much lower than it would be in Indonesia, which I know very well. Also, because of the currency exchange, I think in the financing, I think to finance and manage stocks in Europe, and particularly in Antwerp, would be much more efficient than managing those stocks in Indonesia. So I'm urging very much all the associations to look into it. We could find partners here to co-finance and co-market all these goods at a very efficient rate. So it would be win-win-win situations where people, of course, would not like to finance everything, but partly, and so the cost would be very, very minimal, and you would gain very much on the logistics experience working with partners in Europe, and particularly in Antwerp for us, of course. We, as the BIA, we like to facilitate with Pa Irwan. We have in September a maritime conference where we exchange ideas on shipping and logistics, investments and trade between Indonesia and Belgium, with all the big companies, logistics and shipping companies from Belgium. And the association is, of course, and all the people are welcome for inquiries. I think it's a very, we have to look at the cost. The advantage of Europe with the high currency exchange and the low dollar needs Indonesia to focus on Europe. And of course, the import duties and the preferential tariffs are important costs, but you can gain a multiplied number of efficient percentage on the efficiency gains for working closely together with Belgian companies on the logistics. That was my remark on Pasosilo and in general on this.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind advice, Mr. Johan Bakker. And can I give the opportunity to other member of the association? Otherwise, I also recognize government office in Europe, as well as the Indonesian embassy there, Indonesian embassy in Paris, ITPC Milan. Is there any intervention? You are most welcome. And thank you for attending this gathering. Yeah, I cannot see your hands. I'm very sorry, but yeah, can you identify yourself?
Mr. Gunawan Salim.
I'm Gunawan Salim from Apkindo also, Pak.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Irfansyah. Thank you also, Pak Sulaiman, for hosting the meeting, and also thank you, Pak Indroyono, for facilitating this meeting. And maybe guten Tag to Alexander, my friend. Pepper has been doing business with Indonesia for more than 30 years in the plywood business. Yeah.
Long history.
Long history. Okay. So regarding Article 13, maybe everybody agree that there is an urgent need to do the promotion as stated in the Flag TVP agreement. So we are not losing the moment, because we have been nearly 4 years here as the only Flag TVPA, and no other countries knows enough to sign this Flag TVPA. maybe our embassies in Europe need to make a pressure to EU government and ask them to show to other countries that EU giving rewards or maybe giving some advantages. So other countries also enjoy to join this Flexi CPA. And then number two, as I said also because of this webinar is also attending by a lot of embassies from Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, France, German. I saw a lot of from UK also, Slovakia, many countries, and also before also mentioned there's somebody from coordinating minister in Indonesia also attend. So I would like to point out also about the species matter. Pak Indroyono may be familiar with Korea, but actually in Europe also we are facing some problem. Before, if we hear clearly, Alexander mentioned that the import duty is between 7 to 10% nowadays. What is the 10%? The 10% because of Meranti, Pak. Again, if there is a
related to the species, yeah.
Meranti, then the import duty is higher. So I think need to work out together with all the embassy and also maybe the custom meeting, how to change this one. In Europe, I have the data exactly. There's the HS number 4412.31.10. That one is consists of Meranti. That is import duty 10%. And then 4412.31.90 is others. Means other species. Import duty is only 7%. So we need to work hard how to eliminate this kind of discriminations. Yeah, Pak Indroyono knows also in Korea, but we are also facing also Meranti problem in Japan with different taxes. I don't know which other countries. Maybe also some things happen. And then number three is about I would like to raise about the double standard on EU. So if we see from the government point of view, they accept our SVLK as a Flexi VPA, but they cannot accept FSC and PEFC as condition of Flexi VPA. They cannot accept. If we are talking customer side, I think Alexander's point of view is correct. Customer side more prefer FSC and PEFC, but
yeah,
if we are talking the government side, EU, you know, last time when there is a webinar with European also, before is with German, I think, yeah, Pak, yeah. I cannot attend because I have also another webinar with other for Europe also. So EU government still put Indonesia in the category of high risk country in terms of importing wood. So this is a bit, you know, they are clearly mentioned that FSC and PEFC have a higher standard. So this is really double standard. And then also when we discuss more into detail why they put Indonesia as a high risk country, they use the national risk assessment from FSC. So this is funny, you know. FSC is not accepted at Flexi VPA, but they use the assessment from FSC. So I said this is a bit of conflict of interest. I don't say FSC is not good. I don't say also Flexi VPA is higher or under, but this is a kind of conflict of interest. Okay, I think that's all the point from.
Okay, Pak Gunawan, I think it's not that you made a very many points, and then one of them are quite sensitive if we relate that to the tariff, to the trade barrier, and then the other is a confusion between other scheme of certification and then the existing FLECTI and SVLK. I know that the focus of the one in Indonesia is legality assurance, while the other talking about sustainability issues, which has a larger scope, and they will consider that this legality is only some part, a subset of these sustainability issues. We can keep discussing this, and it is for the government to facilitate further in examining these issues in order, for purpose of one objective. It has to be fair trade for all sides in order to promote sustainable trade. That is my take on this, but I think you have touched the nerve of this discussion, and you are talking about the real challenge on the ground and how we deal with the lay people, the actual consumer, and their behavior in terms of consumption. So do you still want to pick up the ini? You are very tough, it seems. I feel a bit tired, but it seems that the participants love to stay virtually for longer, but you intend to go up to the evening time? No, huh? Before dinner we adjourn, I hope. So is there any other want to?
Well, if you allow me just to give a short comment on the
please.
The comments of Mr. Gunawan. I think that we could finish here with a positive approach. What if we would not have had today a FLECTI certificate? Then I think the situation would have been much different. So I think we should realize and be thankful for the fact that we do have this certificate today. But there is still a long way to go in order to improve further. And as mentioned by Mr. Gunawan, the corruption index of certain countries is forcing us as traders to make sure that what we buy is coming from a legal source. And how convenient and how good is it that we can promote the FLECTI certificate as being a green lane? I think that's the major step forward we have done a few years ago, allowing us all to benefit from it today. And I think we are in front here of the second step. How can we promote further? And I think that with all the efforts done so far, we are on the right track. However, there is still something to be done that's more than clear after all the discussions here today. And I think it's for a big part in the hands of governments, in particularly here locally in Europe, to make this effort and push the FLECTI license to the next level.
Thank you, Mr. De Groot. I took it as
can I ask one,
the wrap-up.
Yeah, please. Franza, can I ask a question to Mr. Sulaiman, from the embassy? Are they
Pak Sulaiman
Indonesia? Or from the Brussels embassy?
Sulaiman left for other meeting.
Yeah, just one question. Are we in the process of having a economic strategic partnership in Brussels?
Yeah.
Yes, maybe because what we discussed by Mr. De Groot and so on, these issues can be raised into during the high-level meeting between two governments, regarding the preferential tariff, regarding the the collaboration on bilateral Antwerp warehouse.
I see. Anybody at the Indonesian embassy? Anybody at the Indonesian embassy?
Maybe Pa Irwan can talk a little bit from Kadin.
Yeah, maybe as you know, and in
I see
Kadin we have
the attaché of the trade at the embassy.
Yes.
Please, is there any intervention to clarify? Are we going to have a process, intensify the process of strategic partnership with Belgium? That was the.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pak Efransya. Responding about the question about the strategic partnership with Belgium, we're not pursuing only with per country in the AU, but we are pursuing for the whole AU. That's why now we are ongoing to the process of negotiation for Indonesia-EU SEPA, and it's already running for around since 2016, so it's already 4 years now. And because of the COVID, currently it's been a slow delay of the process, but we are still commit and optimistic that it will be have a good result at the end. And we are targeting at least next year it will be conclude, because it will give the benefits to both of parties, either EU and also Indonesia. And I would like to respond again about the tariff preference for the wood products. Indeed, for the HS code 44, we already graduate from the GSP. So that's why we are excluded from the tariff preferential of GSP. But for the HS code 94, we still get the preference of the GSP standard. That's why we have the differences for the import duty. That's applied for the whole EU, not only for the Belgium. So that's perhaps my small response.
Thank you. It's clarified a lot.
No. The tariff now we have to pay 7% or less than 7% in terms of wood products.
7 to 10. That's what I mentioned.
So it's MFN, Pak. It's already MFN because it's already graduate from the GSP standards for the F44 HS code. So
we won't be able to have lose tariff. Above the tariff, okay.
Yes, above the tariff. And during the SIPA, we are also trying to pursue on one of the working group. It's about the government procurement. We are going to pursue, because both parties discussing about the sustainability on the products that being procured. So we would like also to raise this issue about the green procurement between Indonesia and also AU. So this is why it's become one of our concern, not only for the government procurement, but also in the TSD chapter. We are discussing about this, and also we raising about the importance of FLEGT, because we are the first country that already achieved the FLEGT VPA with the AU. And we highlight this, especially in the EU SEPA. That's all right.
No, I think the idea, Pak Efransya and all my colleagues was attending this webinar, Mr. De Groot also, we always forgot that when you see FLEGT, you talk about fee legal. Actually, within FLEGT, also including sustainability. I think this has to be promoted. Within the FLEGT, I think it's both, which is a legality and also sustainability. So this is that I think we should together promote this. In the meantime, from our side now, we are in the process of discussing with FSC to find a commonality. Because as a forest manager, we have a problem. We have to be audited twice. So it's too costly. Now we try to find some, when we can have a complement each other, so that with only one certificate, we can get both. So the initiative already there. I'm looking forward to have the FSC meeting in Bali next year. Supposed to be this year, but I think it has to be postponed until next year. This will be discussed because the FLEGT is important. However, the consumer also much better to go with FSC or FPSC. However, please realize that our FLEGT consists of both legality and sustainability. The problem is we haven't implement article number 13 regarding promotion. Thank you.
Okay, I think you made already wrap up of this overall discussion, and Mr. De Groot did that also earlier. Can I ask Pak Purwadi, is there anything else to add?
I think Mr. Ormar would like to clarify something. Mr.
Siapa?
Ormar? Mr.
Omar.
Yeah, Mr. Omar, yeah.
Mr.
You want to
Omar
add something?
wrote something on the chat, please. No? Omar?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, do you want to make intervention?
That's okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Please check your chat. There are some personal greetings, and there are also questions from some institution in Europe, in particular Indonesian-Belgium related association. You may want to entertain that through a personal email letter. We are exhausting our time, exhausted already. So I don't think you will ask me to wrap up because it was very clear. We touch upon the recognition upon the importance to regain and resetting the fair balance between supply and demand amid COVID and post-COVID situation. That is our situation. And then we see persistent challenging in placing ourselves in Belgium in terms of import and export, and which include the story of warehouse, and then the importance to keep promoting and even work much more seriously on sustainability and legality aspect through various schemes, in particular the one which has been already adopted by EU and Indonesia, FLEGT. We should keep promoting on that. And there are some alignment. Actually, you said so many things, but overall, I did record well, not so good news, but good news and no bad news. That is already very good. Yeah, when you say it's very difficult to qualify this, but I think you are all okay. We're gonna all survive up to 2021 and beyond. So please take care of your health and stay healthy and keep distancing. Follow the protocol of COVID. I'm going to close, but I want to ask somebody from our patron, Indonesian Embassy in Brussels, to make a final statement. I hope no objection to that. Silakan, Indonesian Embassy Brussels.
Okay.
Ada yang mau ngasih statement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, please, Ibu Atase.
Thank you very much, Pak Efransha. We have a very good discussion this morning and very fruitful, and hopefully it will give enlighten also our knowledge and encourage us to promote more about the wood products to the Belgium country especially, and also to the European Union in general. Just one thing that we would like to highlight is it's interesting how Pak Indroyono already explained about the process in how the FSC right now try to in line with the FLEGT that we have already. And we'd like to know how is it the perception in the Belgium market now and also to the EU. Are they going to the market perception itself, is it going to be better, or is it like, okay, the understanding will be only the legality, but also starting from the sustainability? Yes, yep. That's the most important. So that's why perhaps in the future we are going to have another series like this, but specifically talking about how we can promote the FLEGT in the EU market. So perhaps within the policy framework. So I think that's we can see that in the future. Thank you very much for the attendance for all the participants.
Thank you, Ibu.
Yes, also thank you very much for Mr. Alexander de Groot for your attendance and also your inputs and everything, and also Pak Omar. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can have a great collaboration in the future.
Thank you. I just like to last word to Chair Indroyono, the work that we already registered as a homework is harmonization, okay? Harmonization of our scheme with other different schemes. So as such, there will be a commonality as you mentioned. And last but not least, I should not fail to mention the importance to upgrade our SME with technology and things to upgrade them to the digital basis. This is important for the future. So we hope for the best. Please survive yourself until next year. We will meet again. My apology if any oversight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your indulgence.
Thank you.
Francia.
Thank you, Dr. Efransha.
Permisi. Can we have a picture together?
Oh,
Okay.
how you want us to pose?
Yes, yes. We can take a pose.
Like this? How?
All
Like
right.
this, or do you have
everybody
a
could open the
Everybody
video.
can start the video. Everybody can start the video so it can show to the monitors.
Yeah. Show your face. Open the video. Open the video, and then do the pose. Should we have boomerang or what?
Okay.
Okay, please.
1, 2.
Thank you, Pak Indroyono. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Pak Pur.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Very kind
Terima
of
kasih banyak
you.
Pak Indroyono, Pak Efransha, terima kasih Pak Purwadi. Terima kasih banyak.
Jangan bosan.
Izin Pak Dubes, terima kasih banyak Pak Dubes.
Dubes ketemu di Jakarta ya ngopi.
Iya.
Sampai lupa.
Nanti kapan Pak ini Pak Efransah, Pak Indroyono kita ketemu sebelumnya Pak?
Pak Andri, Pak Efransah, ya. Pak Efransah sudah keluar ya. Ya, jadi Pak.
Keluar ya. Nanti Pak Purwadi atau siapapun ya Pak Purwadi ya. Kita sebelum saya berangkat ya Pak Purwadi.
Siap Bapak, nanti kami soal Bapak sama Pak Efransah, Pak Indro. Siap Pak.
Saya yang tuan Pak. Monggo, makasih Pak.
Iya Pak Andri, makasih. Bu Adak, ya Pak Sulaiman, ya makasih.
Terima kasih banyak Pak Dubes, Pak Rufi. Terima kasih banyak.
Salam buat Pak Kuai dan teman-teman di sana.
Ya.
Pak. Iya Pak. Siap Pak. Siap Pak. Pak Omar, makasih Pak.
Terima
kasih. Masuk Bu. Belum di-mute. Enggak, Pak Rufi itu. Udah ditelepon aja. Pak Rufi bilangin nanti kalau itu Pak Rufi. Terima kasih Pak.
Thank you.
Pak Purwadi, terima kasih.
Mantap, sukses. Yeay.
Bisa ya Bu. Ya, mohon izin live ya Bu. Iya.